Turn 2 Chaos, the warriors take the bait? I don't know. They charge the Goblin Wolf Riders, and they should be able to slaughter them, but they get in range of the fanatics. And so fanatics are thrown at an angle, so hopefully they fall short, and so well, not that short. And so fanatics, if you roll a double, then they die, except in the first turn. And so they ignore the rules for moving in within an inch of everything. And so they have to continue their charge, the Warriors of Chaos, and they hit 2 fanatics. And so that's 2d6 each, a very poor roll, but it's still a lot. He only has a 6+ save now because of the armor piercing and strength 5. And so a lot of Warriors of Chaos die, which is awesome, but at the same time, that was a lot of points for fanatics. Then the Marauders move up and their big busts are so unwieldy. It's awesome. And the Sorcerer moves up as well. The Hounds move up as much as they can until they proc the silly fanatics as well, and so they all charge forward and trying to not hit myself, and if they hit terrain, if they hit the river at all, then they would have died, and so I try to throw them at a bit of an angle. War Shrine moves up as well. And for magic, decent roll, and no channels and no channels. And so first casting Pandemonium again, I try to dispel because I hate Pandemonium, and I do get it. And then he casts a Treason of Tzeentch again, which he does make, and I use my Dispel Scroll. Those are wonderful. And then he casts Tzeentch Missile, which is a little magic missile thing, and he gets 2d6 hits. I managed not to dispel it, and then 8 hits, and I think 5 goblins die. Or only 4. Not too bad. And then the War Shrine upkeeps normal, just the +1 armor instead of rerolling, because it's good. Then the Warriors of Chaos absolutely start ripping into my Wolf Riders. Hopefully I maybe get a few attacks back, but I have no chance really at all of winning this combat. And there turned out to be enough wounds exactly for my Wolf Riders, and no saves. And they all died. And so because of the Market Corn, they choose half to overrun, so they're off the table, which is good for me away. And so turn 2 Gobbos, Animosity across the table. The one that I really wanted not to go berserk does. And so he's forced to charge forward into those guys, and so they're probably going to lose a lot more instead of delaying that big bust on the side. And my trolls fail their stupidity, even without Pandemonium going. And so they stumble forward a couple inches into the swamp. And so one has to take dangerous terrain, and I think we forgot to roll for the initiative. Oh yeah, then the fanatics scrolling around. The one rolls off the board. The one hits the Warriors of Chaos, and because they were just off, it didn't actually hit any terrain because it hit the unit beforehand. He was just over the lip of it, and so they actually killed 4 knights, which is insanely good. And then the other one moves over and hits the other fanatic. And so all the fanatics are gone now except that one in the back. Oh yeah, and we forgot to hit a few of the boars as well. And how it's worded is that the fanatic moves and is placed an inch beyond the unit. And so when I placed it beyond the unit, it hit the other unit and actually hadn't hit the terrain yet. And so then it bounced the unit behind. So the fanatic, normally being killed by the river, actually bounced through the unit over the river. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And fanatics are awesome. And I'm not sure if there will be a game where I don't take max fanatics with all my squads. It's fantastic. But anyways, I start casting Sneaky Stab, and he Dispel Scrolls it. And continuing, it gets to reroll, dispelling my itchy nuisance and all that other stuff. I cast Sneaky Stab it again, and I do manage to get it. I'm not managed to steal any dice from his pool though, which is unfortunate. And then try to cast one more. Oh yeah, I do get a Hex on them, so they have to reroll all 6s, and they still have their +1 armor. And then shooting a Doom Diver, boo, onto the War Shrine, because there's really nothing else to shoot at. And it deviates a couple inches, and I should have deviated onto the Tzeentch Warriors, kill off a bunch of them, but instead I hit the War Shrine, which is so tough, and it's got a 4+, I think, re-rolling invulnerable save. And so here we go. I throw my nets on the guys, so they at least have to wound me on 4s now instead of 3s, or maybe they wound me on 5s. I think they wound me on 5s because they've not upgraded their weapons at all. They're just meant to tank a bajillion damage. And so first couple guys attack, special characters, and then the first couple rows because they have all their initial attacks. And of course, higher initiative than goblins, because everyone's higher initiative than goblins. Everyone in the whole wide world. And so they only killed not too many. And I forgot to reroll 6s. I think it only would have made maybe 1 or 2 more goblins alive. But still, that's every little bit counts. And then I attack back, and well, I'm not able to do much at all because I'm a goblin. But we try our hardest. But because, I mean, my bus is meant to withstand anything. But the Marauders make the Gobbos run, and they're like an inch behind them. They're almost there. And so no movement at all for Chaos. It's already basically set. Right into the magic phase. And decent rolling. No... Oh, I get a channel die. That's fantastic. And so he tries to cast Pandemonium again. And of course, I luckily dispelled it. No, he cast... I think that was the little Zinch missile. But anyways, I'm able to stop, luckily, a lot of his spells, so nothing much gets through at all. And I get a very nice dispel turn, but he does roll different on the shrine and gets +1 attack instead. And so +1 attack is, well, it's going to be very good. And then he charges, we did it wrong originally, and so we just kind of redid it. He charges forward, and I run away, and these goblins are quick. They ran like the Dickens, and the Marauder is charging up behind. But now I'm outside of my standard bearer range, and I don't think I'm ever gonna come back.